So it's 2:15 almost.
Okay, start.
Okay. So we start today's webinar. Good afternoon, teachers. We welcome you to this webinar organized by Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women in collaboration with P. N. Das College on COVID-19 impact on the teaching and learning process. Our key speaker for today is Dr. Ajit Mondal. But before we move on into our presentations, there are certain set of rules that have been created for this webinar. I will read out the rules before we start our program. Number 1, participants will have to switch off their mic and video so that there is no disturbance in the proceedings of the webinar. Number 2, after the speech by our learned guest, we will have an interactive session where the participants need to put forward their questions on WhatsApp group along with their names and institutions. I, on your behalf, will ask your questions from the guest. For other queries, we will provide the mail ID of the speaker. Rule number 3. Links to the feedback forms will be provided in the WhatsApp group or mailed after the learned speaker has ended his speech. The links to the feedback forms will be provided only after the key speaker has delivered his speech. Number 4, certificate of participation will be provided via mail after the submission of feedback forms. You need to fill in your feedback forms to receive your certificate. And number 5, feedback forms should be filled with care because the certificate will be processed on the spellings that you are actually providing on the feedback form. So feedback form should be filled with care. These are some of the rules, and we would like to remind you again that throughout the webinar you need to mute your sound as well as your video so that the webinar proceedings could be carried on smoothly. So without much ado, we would like to start today's session. Each of us has within us a creative force pushing against our rigid and busy lives like a river whose flow is blocked by a wall. The walls each person has created in their lives are unique. This means that we must break down our unique walls to let the river of creativity flow. As the walls come down, the river itself will find the path of least resistance to expression. In Einstein, this was physics. In Ramanujan, it was pure mathematics. In Michelangelo, it was painting, sculpture, and architecture. In Michael Jordan, it was basketball. And in us teachers, it is about breaking the wall created by this pandemic so that our creativity could flow like rivers to our students. This webinar is one such scope to understand how to utilize our creativity in providing lessons to our students and also to assess its impact on teaching and learning process. So without much ado, we start the webinar with our national anthem. So we start our webinar with our national anthem. Thank you. Now I would request our principal ma'am, Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay ma'am, to formally start the session with her enlightening words. So kindly ma'am, if you can take over from here.
Thank you, Jasmine. আমার শোনা যাচ্ছে তো আমার কথা?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
Jasmine?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
Hello everyone.
হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে না না।
Okay, I'm starting. Hello everybody. In this online seminar entitled Impact of COVID-19 on the teaching learning process, I welcome resource person Dr. Ajit Mondol, Assistant Professor of Education, West Bengal State University. I acknowledge the encouragement of Governing Body President Dr. Ratan Kumar Nandi. Thank you, sir. I welcome Dr. Shomila De, Principal of P.N. Das College, also in collaboration with this webinar. Another principal, I welcome Dr. Ahuna Chakraborty of Shimurali B.Ed College, I2C Coordinator Professor Jilkot Mamun, Librarian Dr. Tulima De, both of them are organizer of this seminar and are actively involved in it. Dr. Jasmeet Singh, lecturer in English of RBC College for Women, will be conducting this seminar from the beginning to the end. Mr. Sujam Saha, the librarian and the technical assistant of this seminar, and Mr. Suhardo Roy, non-teaching staff, and another technical staff of this webinar. I welcome all the participants, professor, assistant professor, librarian from this college and outside of this college from other colleges. Outbreak of coronavirus caused a global lockdown. Significantly, higher education sector was disrupted, and this is a crucial time for the education sector. The structure of teaching learning are highly affected on this time of crisis. A well-rounded and effective educational practice is needed for the capacity building of the young mind. This webinar will enlighten on this matter of the effective planning of teaching and learning, and Professor Ajit Mondol will discuss about that, how this teaching process or learning process can be effectively discussed to save the students from crisis of this present crisis and to save their future. Proper planning on the effective educational practice will develop skills which will drive the students' employability, productivity, health, and well-being in the decades to come and ensure overall progress of the India. I hope that this webinar will show a light on this and will discussion of all the academicians present here will save all the students, learners from this crisis. Thank you everybody, and I wish a great success of this seminar, online seminar. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. We also have with us the principal of P.N. Das College, Polta, Dr. Shormila De ma'am. So I would now request Dr. Shormila De ma'am to share her thoughts with us. Kindly, ma'am, if you can come over.
Thank you. Respected Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay, Principal Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nandi, President Governing Body of the same college, Honorable Speaker Dr. Ajit Mondol of West Bengal State University, and participants from various educational institutions. A very good afternoon. I would like to begin today's speech by thanking Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay for giving P.N. Das College an opportunity to collaborate in today's webinar, the topic of which couldn't be more important in today's scenario. I would like to draw your attention to a few points which I'm sure is known to all of you, but I also must mention for the sake of completeness. If we look at the National Education Policy of 2019, we shall see that there are various areas that have been broadly identified, like well-resourced, multidisciplinary institutions. Around 500 universities and 40,000 colleges will be consolidated into about 15,000 institutions. Liberal education in imaginative and flexible curriculum, multiple entry and exit points. Autonomy is defined in terms that all institutions will be either university or degree granting autonomous colleges. Faculty recruitment and subsequent procedures will be thoroughly revised. Also, if we see the DPR of RUSA, we shall notice that the higher educational institutions will have to declare the percentage of autonomy which they want to achieve in next, say, 5 years. It was expected earlier that by 2030, the whole education policy will be renewed. The pandemic, interestingly, has transformed the whole pedagogy from chalk and talk to a system driven by technology. Initially, this technology was boasted of as one of the best practices of the institution. Now it has been transformed into a basic means of communication between the teacher and the taught. Moreover, it has also given us a glimpse and a warning bell for how the entire education system would look like in days that are not quite too far. Internet-based learning has now become a feature not only higher educational institutions, but also schools far and wide. Even social media platforms like WhatsApp Messenger and Facebook Messenger are being put to use by teachers of rural schools to reach out to the students. Students too are neither averse to nor immune to these changes taking place under exigent situations. They too have adopted and adapted to the changes in the tools and means. I have been taking note of the attendance of students of our college in online classes and was surprised to find that it has nearly doubled in most cases compared to the usual classrooms. The questions of equity and digital divide have been raised, and quite rightly so. It has certainly to be debated hard to drive the nation towards a more inclusive vision of education. But technological innovations are inexorable and at the same time inextricable from the processes of social change and advancement. History will neither repeat itself nor look back in time. It's a truth, not only in biological sciences, but also in social sciences. It is, therefore, up to us to choose between an inevitability and an inevitable extinction, professionally and socially. The days are coming when institutions will be run by teachers who are not only sound in knowledge, but also skilled in technology. COVID-19 has literally taken us to the threshold of a new world of education. One of technology-based blended learning, where the traditional methods would be supplemented and augmented by the use of electronic technology. It has now become a question of survival, not only for the institutions, but also for the individual teachers, especially the younger ones. We survive with the institution, and the institution survives with us. In the end, I would like to remind you of the famous American song of the John Henry ballad. John Henry, the steel driving man, towards the fag end of the 19th century, contented with the steam engine, to drive the steel rail 14 feet deep underneath the ground, while the machine would make only 9. Henry wins, but eventually dies to make a place in the history of pain, in the ballads and in the lips of the toiling masses of the world. But the machine remains and further evolves itself to always offer a choice between change and death for the ordinary worker, but also as a means to change the lives of the multitude of humanity that has used science and technology to change the way they live from the old age to the modern man. Thank you and wish the seminar a grand success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening us with your speech. Now, I would request Shujan Shah, sir, to kindly play the speech of our GB President, sir, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nondi.
Was this audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Yes, Surmila,
Thank you.
you. Thank you very much.
Lorna, I just want to say that I am in college. I was sitting only for this session. So on the way, I'll log in from my other device. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes. I think that you are in college.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Now I'd request Shujan Shah, sir, to kindly play the
Excuse me,
speech.
sir.
Kindly play the speech of our GB President, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nondi, please.
Jasmine sir,
Shujan.
Tulimadi,
Hello. Jasmine.
Shujan, kindly.
Jasmine.
Next, Tulika.
Kindly play the speech of our GB President, sir, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nondi.
Yes.
okay.
Play the recording of Governing Body President Dr. Ratan Kumar Nondi. He has given a message for us for this seminar.
আজ ঋষি বঙ্কিম মহিলা কলেজ এবং কলকাতা বিএনদাস কলেজে করা হয়েছে। এই জন্য আমি অত্যন্ত প্রতিকূল পরিবেশের মধ্যে যিনি একবারের আহ্বায়ক জিলকত মামুন এবং আমাদের বন্ধুরা শ্রীমতী দিদিমাকে অনেক চেষ্টার মাধ্যমে এই সেমিনারে পাচ্ছেন এবং তারপরে সেমিনারে ব্যবস্থাপনায় যাই হোক দক্ষতার সাথে যে মানুষ এগিয়ে চলেছে তাতে পুরস্কার সঙ্গে এটা একটা মানুষের সবচেয়ে বৈশিষ্ট্য বা পরিচয়। কাজে একদিকে আমাদের কারণ আমাদের সাধারণ জীবনযাপন বিনষ্ট হচ্ছে, পড়াশোনা অধ্যয়ন অধ্যাপন
হ্যাঁ
আর বৃদ্ধি হচ্ছে, আর তারই সঙ্গে এসে যখন কৌশল একটি বিরাট বাধা সৃষ্টি করে তখনও আমরা জানি না আমরা আমাদের
It's very disturbing.
impact on teaching.
শোনা যাচ্ছে ম্যাম?
Audio is not okay.
Okay, someone's adding, so disturbance coming. I will play again.
Someone presenting করছিলাম।
Play it again.
Okay.
প্রত্যেকের মধ্যে কিভাবে আমরা আমাদের আলোচনা সভার উদ্দেশ্য আমি আপনাদের সবাইকে অভিনন্দন জানাচ্ছি যারা এই যুবকের মধ্যে শিক্ষা জগতের থেকে সফল করার জন্য সচেষ্ট হয়েছেন। তাদের ধন্যবাদ জানাই। অনুষ্ঠানের সফল
Okay, thank you, Srijanda. Now I would request our IQEC convener, Professor Jilkot Mamun sir, to kindly enlighten us with his words. So, Professor Jilkot Mamun sir, if you are present, kindly.
Yes. Am I audible? Hello?
হ্যাঁ শোনা যাচ্ছে, বলো।
Good afternoon to all. At first, I do express my regret for those people who have died by tremendous flowing of Amphan super cyclone on 21st May 2020. Honorable President of the GB of RBC College for Women, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nondi, respectable Principal Dr. Shorila De, P.N. Das College, and respected Principal Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay of Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women, resource persons of this program, Dr. Ajit Mondol, technician of this program, Mr. Sujan Shaha, Dr. Tulima De, one of the organizer of this program, Dr. Jasmeet Singh, and my all colleagues and dignified participants of this webinar program and seminar, Impact of COVID-19 on Education System. I do express my warm wish and heartfelt thanks to all. We have organized this program with full initiative of our principal Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay and assistance of our colleagues. We know the scenario of the globe as well as our country in the context of the pandemic COVID-19 in early 2020. Near about 206 countries are affected by this COVID-19 virus in globally. The pandemic COVID-19 has affected in all aspects of human life in our country. Not only that, our education system totally disrupted. Even it has caused the demise of around billion people around the globe. We all are existing in the room in lockdown situation for last 2 or 3 months. Our education sector did not keep remain from these effects in India. Minister of Human Resource Development recognized UGC already have given a guideline to continue online teaching method for the students. Incidentally, COVID-19 has come and this virus already attacked in India, though government of India recently, not only recently, just a few months ago, they have declared our digital education system already running, and it would be enhanced, it would be enlarged. As students, the teachers both have been staying at home forcibly for the last 3 months due to this pandemic situation. We the teachers can't avoid our responsibility from the duty of teaching. That's why we are organizing this webinar program and a seminar, COVID-19 impact on the teaching and learning process. At first, you should know what is webinar. Webinar is seminar or other presentation that take place on the internet, allowing participants in different location to see and hear the presenter ask question and some answers polls. Our invitee speaker, Dr. Ajit Mondal, will discuss it elaborately, and also positive introduction of the participants will be enlightened to the matter. I hope that we will be enriched on this matter. It is my expectation that our webinar program and this seminar would be relevant, positive, and success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Jilkot Mahmood. Now, I would request our librarian from Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women, Dr. Tulima De Ma'am, to kindly introduce our resource person, Dr. Ajit Mondal. So, Tulima Ma'am, kindly.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jaspreet. Good afternoon. I express my thanks to our Honorable Principal, Madam Dr. Lorna Mukhopadhyay, our TV President, Dr. Ratan Kumar Nandi, and Dr. Sharmila De, Principal of P.N. Dash College. Nowadays, we are moving towards the digital world. The COVID-19 pandemic situation creates an accelerating speed to become a virtual citizen. Post-COVID situation changed our way of life. In next few years, we librarians are designated as digital librarian, virtual librarian, so on. Global education system came under one platform, that is the e-learning. Today, our resource person, Dr. Ajit Mondal, an eminent professor of education of West Bengal State University. He has already written more than 25 articles in research journals and presenting a good number of papers in national and international seminars. He also contributed articles to the Journal of State Open, State Publication, Kurukshetra, Jojona, NCERT Journal, and University News. He also authored 3 books and edited 10 books on education. Today, he highlights the challenge and possibilities of education systems in post-COVID pandemic situation. I feel honored to introducing him. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tulima De Ma'am. Now, before we move on to our technical session, I would request again to all the participants present here to kindly mute your video as well as your audio so that there is no disturbance while our resource person carries on the technical session. Point number 2, The links to the feedback form will be provided after the speech from our resource person. So you need to fill in the feedback form quite properly in order to receive your certificate. After the speech of our resource person, there will be an interactive session. You can ask your questions on WhatsApp along with your name and the name of your institution. I, on your behalf, will put forward those questions to our resource person. So now we move on to our technical session. I would like to invite Dr. Ajit Mundul sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, West Bengal State University, to kindly give us his perspective on the impact that COVID-19 has on the teaching learning process. So the stage is all yours, sir. Sir, we invite Dr. Ajit Mundul sir. Sir. So if you can hear us, sir.
PPT visible?
Sir, can you hear us?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Good afternoon, everybody.
PPT is visible? Hello? PPT is visible?
Yes, yes.
Visible, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before starting the session, I would like to convey my thanks to teachers, gratitude to Honorable Principal Ma'am, Dr. Lona Mukhopadhyay, RBC College for Women, and Dr. Sharmila Dey, Principal of PM Dash College. I also articulate my thanks and gratitude to Dr. Ratan Kumar Nundy, President of the Governing Body, RBC College.
Any problem in audio?
Yes.
Audio clear? Audio clear?
Audio clear, bolun.
Am I audible?
Okay.
Yes, you are audible. Bolun.
Audible?
Yes. এখানে একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছিল সেই কারণে বললাম। ঠিক আছে, কন্টিনিউ করুন স্যার।
Continue, আপনার কথা হয়ে যাচ্ছে।
Can I continue?
Yes, continue.
Okay. Professor Jilkot Mamun, IQAC Director of the same college, Dr. Tulima De, Librarian, RBC College for Women, Dr. Jasprit Singh, and Dr. Sudipta Tarafdar and Jagabandhu Bihar, and Brother Kamal and others, dear colleagues of the same college. And also I express my thanks to Sri Sujon Saha, who is in charge of technical support. I am really grateful to the organizing committee of the webinar to offer me opportunity for sharing my views, opinion, reflections on COVID-19 impact on the teaching learning process organized by the Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women in collaboration with PM Dash College. Dear delegates, I would like to share my experience, my reflection, my views and opinions, particularly on COVID-19 and higher education in India, challenges and possibilities. Both the webinar, the title is COVID-19 impact on the whole aspect of teaching learning process. I will just share with all of you, particularly on the COVID-19 and Indian higher education. I would like to try to explore the challenges and possibilities and way outs. Before starting our discussion, we should look at the present context. The outbreak of the pandemic COVID-19 actually began within China in December 2019, and it started later in Europe, United States, and India in the first quarter of 2020. The COVID-19 has thrown normal activity into total chaos, disorder, leading to governments imposing lockdown in their respective countries. The very unprecedented crisis caused by COVID-19 has impacted every sphere of our life, and education is one of the worst affected, which may have long-lasting effect on society. With the enforcement of nationwide lockdown, all the teachers were thrown into a new unforeseen unprecedented situation without any mental preparation. The teachers at all levels, from the elementary to higher education, are struggling hard to cope up with that particular situation, either with institutional support or without it. While most of the students are anxious about uncertain future, most teachers are busy struggling to conduct online classes with limited digital access, inadequate IT infrastructure, and weak competency set. Since the middle, the very picture during March to February to June, in Indian higher education, not only higher education, in all levels, since middle of March 2020, all colleges and universities in India have been shut down in India to prevent spread of infection coronavirus. Between March and May, higher education system in the country has a very busy schedule. Every year, all of you know, examination for current students and admissions for new ones and conducted in this period are conducted during that period. Many graduating students are appearing for job interviews. Some lucky ones have got offers of employment, but they need certificate. After all, they need certificates, mark sheets of graduation or post-graduation before they can join, take up employment. Students and their parents are all anxious due to sudden and almost unending disruption to their schedule due to COVID-19. Under these circumstances, it is high time to explore the new avenues to cope with the present situation caused by the COVID-19. The human, physical, material resources available in India need to be mobilized at this juncture to fight against COVID-19. All of you know the very significant line of Kothari Commission 1964 to 66 report begins with that the very line, destiny of India is being shaped in a classroom. Naturally, the higher education institutions have to take up dominant role in exploring possibilities, solutions, way outs, prospects of the crisis driven by the COVID-19. They have to save the continuity of higher education, the flow of higher education with resources available, whatever we have, the available resources, innovations, research and development, etc. In addition to that, higher education has also a social accountability and responsibility to lead the nation for right directions. The whole discussion is segmented into three parts for better understanding. The first section, actually, I would like to point out or explore the challenges under the ambit of the COVID-19. Section 2, then I will explore digital opportunities. Actually, we mean in where India stands. India অবস্থানটা আমি explore করব from the perspective of digital opportunities. Lastly, we will try to explore the way outs or the way forwards. Actually, what to do in the last section we will share. This is the context. Upon this context, then I will try to explore the challenges or problem what we have been facing nowadays in the matter of teaching learning process. At first, I can draw your attention to the challenges one by one, particularly first faculty, then learners, then institutions. Number one, certain preparation of good quality teaching learning material is a matter of concern to a section of teachers, not to all of teachers, to a section of teachers who are still relying on traditional methods of classroom teaching. But it's a very grave concern to a particular section of teachers, those who are accustomed to traditional mode of teachings. Secondly, most teachers are busy struggling to conduct online classes with limited digital access, inadequate IT infrastructure, and weak competency set. It's a problem. It's a challenge. Then, low-income private and government institutes have completely faced acute crisis, for not having sufficient access, adequate access to e-learning solutions. Though the faculty, assuming that though the faculty have the facilities and intellectual capability to do online teaching, but a large number of students don't have such facilities in their rural homes, where they have gone back to following the lockdown colleges and university. There are many low-income students who do not have any access to broadband connectivity or high-speed internet connectivity or laptops or costly Android phone, smartphone. Their inability to bear the cost is also an area of concern. These challenges are related to the faculty, learners, and institutions. Then I can proceed to a particular challenges related to practical classes. How can online methods be followed for the conduct of practical classes in disciplines where it is mandatory? It is mandatory when students have moved out of campus. How is it possible to run the practical classes? Besides, for execution of practical classes, laboratory with equipments, materials, and teachers' observations come support highly needed. All of you know the necessities of practical classes. Next, challenges are related to internship. In cases of technical courses as well as in commerce and management disciplines, students have to do internship with industry as part of course requirements. How would students be able to undergo internship when academic institutions and industries are closed due to lockdown? It's a matter of concern. Besides, in case of teaching learning courses, such as BA, DLED, MAd, etc., the people teachers are not able to undergo internship or practice teaching when schools and training institutions are closed due to lockdown. Next, challenges due to exam and employment, that is job offers. The mandatory, actually it is a mandatory rule, the mandatory 70 or above 75% class attendance is waived. If we can waive the mandatory attendance, but what would happen to the internal assessment, test, fieldwork, project work, tutorial, viva, etc., which are part of the requirements under the semester system in operation? All of you know that we are running under the CDCS system. These are the parts and parcel of the very evaluation system. How can I deny the such evaluation? Not only the written system is also a part of evaluation system, but these are also the parts and parcel of that very particular evaluation system. Another major concern is employment. Students, those who have completed their graduation or post-graduation program, may have fear in their minds of withdrawal of job offers from the corporate sector due to the current situation. There are so many challenges. You can learning delegates, you can also explore another points related to challenges. I just point out some of them in before of you. Next section related to digital, section 2 of my discussion deals with digital opportunities for higher education in India. Actually, I would like to draw your attention to the where India stands hands. Step by step, I will discuss the opportunities. At first, the landmark opportunity already 3 or 4 years since last the MOOCs, massive online courses has been running, has been implementing in India. MOOCs, massive online programs. To run the massive online programs, we should have solid or sound platform. The landmark platform is SWAYAM. SWAYAM is India's own made MOOCs platform, offering online courses on all disciplines for learners 9 to postgraduate. KG to post PG, it can be said. Till today, SWAYAM houses a repository of 1900 courses. 50,000 learners have already enrolled, and 25 lakh students have already enrolled in the January 2020 semester. Recently, just few days ago, UGC have already notified 82 UG and 42 PG MOOCs courses have been approved by the SWAYAM board for the July semester 2020. MOOCs platform in India is a landmark platform for SWAYAM is a landmark, is the basic platform of India for conducting massive online programs. But there are other platforms such as Program on Technology Enhanced Learning, NPTEL. Another platform MOOCUT, run by or developed by IIT Kanpur, MOOCUT and Bombay IIT. They also developed IIT BX is also also a platform for conducting MOOCs, massive online programs. Then Shodhganga, all of you know, it's a reservoir of Indian thesis. Anybody can access to their to any thesis thesis paper. We are proud that University of Calcutta has contributed more than 12,000 theses to the very domain. It's a matter of pride to us. Then Shodh Sidhu. Shodh Sidhu, do you know the term Shodh Sidhu? It's a platform or portal. You can get access to e-journals. Shodh Sudhi is also a platform or portal. Actually, it provides access to Orkut. Orkut basically a web-based plagiarism detection software system. Any user of university or any institution of higher education level in our country can get access. Orkut. It can be very useful for our paper publication or before submission of our thesis. We can check. Then e-content courseware in UG subject. E-content in 8 to 7 undergraduate courses with about 24,000 e-content modules is available in the Consortium for Educational Communication CEC website. এটা একটা ওয়েবসাইট দেওয়া আছে, সেই ওয়েবসাইটে যদি আমরা যাই, we can get access to e-content more than 24,000 in 8 to 7 undergraduate course. Then CEC UGC YouTube channel. It provides access to unlimited educational curriculum-based lectures, absolutely free. Then next item, that is opportunity, biggest opportunity in India at this moment for accessing any sort of digital material, that is National Digital Library of India, NDLI. It provides a framework of virtual repository of learning resources. It's a big domain. big domain. Next, Swayamprabha is an initiative to provide 32 high-quality educational channels through DTH, direct to home, to deliver education in a most cost-effective and inclusive manner. Next, EG Pathshala. Do you know? I hope all of you know EPG, an electronic postgraduate Pathshala. It's a gateway for e-books up to PG level, get free books and curriculum-based e-content. Last, then, Bittan is also a very biggest platform for researcher or for academicians and for the faculty members or scientists. Bittan is basically a primer database of profiles of scientists, researchers, social researchers and working leading academic institutions and RD organization. Research and development এ যারা কাজ করে সেই সকল একাডেমিশিয়ানদের একটা ডেটাবেস। এই ডেটাবেস যেটা হচ্ছে এটা লগইন করে আপনারা প্রত্যেকে এখানে you can submit your profile, you can submit your publications, area of interest and any you can if you have developed any tool, research tool, you can submit there. Actually, what is the aim of Bittan? Bittan main objective is to select panels of experts for various committees, task force established by governments, state government or central government. Another objective, you can identify peer reviewers for articles and research proposals. অনেক অভিজ্ঞতা আছে যেটা কিনা অনেক সময় peer reviewer পাওয়া যায় না. We can access what type of peer reviewer I can get access from that portal. Develop prospective collaborators for ongoing research project. When you are conducting any research, then if you need any co-investigator compatible with your research project, then you can search, you can find out your requisite co-investigator from that particular portal. These are the main objectives. I request all of you log in and make registration and upload your profile. Then you will get contact with a range of scientists, academicians all over India. Next, in the area of technical education, already Government of India has implemented e-Jantra virtual lab. Diksha platform is for school curriculum based portal. Then I'd like to draw your attention to our MHRD sister organ, ICSSR. ICSSR, Indian Council for Social Science Research. It's a age-old institution. Recently, ICSSR has recently invited applications for projects from social scientists or researchers on social science dimensions under the title Social Science Dimensions of COVID-19 Coronavirus Pandemic. Recently, though the date is already over, but actual objective of that very project is to all of you, we should know the pandemic has social science interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary dimensions apart from medical science and drug discovery. Medical science will one day discover any drug for recovery from coronavirus, but hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, medical science and drug discovery either aspect of another. But if you think about the social science aspect, then you will find out what is the purpose of research on social science. Actually, in a social science context can throw greater light on dynamics of spread of transmission and public health response, communication, sensitization about the problem, required health and hygiene practices, social and community response to quarantine, screening and testing, societal understanding of the disease and related risks, social trust, health-seeking behavior, healthcare infrastructure, preparedness, interventions, political preparedness, economic, livelihood implications, employment implications, issues related to migrant laborers. There are so many aspects that can be dealt by social science research. That's why ICSSR has invited applications from the social researchers on social science dimensions of COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Next, another ESOT institution, all of you know, Association of Indian Universities, AIU. Before independence, it was established in 1925. It is now an apex advisory body on higher education mandated by MHRD to determine actually main functions of that very particular body to determine equivalence of degrees. যত ডিগ্রি তার মান্যতা কিন্তু দেয় ফরেন ডিগ্রি সেটাকে আমরা ইন্ডিয়ান পার্সপেক্টিভ কনটেক্সটে সেটা গ্রহণযোগ্য হবে কিনা এই আইইউ কিন্তু দে ক্যান ডিটারমাইন, দে হ্যাভ দ্য অথরিটি। রিসেন্টলি আইইউ has collaborated with National Digital Library of India, which was developed by IIT Kharagpur for pooling all online resources in National Digital Library and for extending it to students. Since many institutions and academicians are creating online content during lockdown, they are also requesting for contribution for original content to NDLI. If you have made any content teaching learning material which is feasible for any particular intended for any particular course or program or any level or either PG or any discipline wise, you can submit your material to NDLI. There is a proforma. After filling in that proforma, you can submit your material. Naturally, all over India, all of beloved students can access and get access to your very important material. Now, what we have made teaching learning materials, not only for our students but also for all over India, we have to think about it. Next. Technical aspect, All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE offers recently 49 free e-learning courses for our beloved students. Many companies came forward to give their products free of cost for those who registered till 31st March 2020 for their learning. Although AICTE mandates that they will not take any responsibility for its content or any copyright issue if any products are not vetted by AICTE. All India Council যদি কোনো কন্টেন্ট কোনো প্রোগ্রাম যদি কিনা অল ইন্ডিয়া কাউন্সিল ফর টেকনিক্যাল এডুকেশন দ্বারা যদি কিনা ভেটিং না হয় তাহলে সেই কোর্সের কোনো কিন্তু মূল্য থাকবে না। However, our beloved student should have known about the feasibility and validity of any course before pursuing any course. And after completion of your course, you have to think this course will be validated by yes or not. Actually, nowadays, even myself and all of you are participating in the webinar and online conference or presenting your paper or participating. But after all, till today, UGC has not implemented or issued any guidelines about that aspect. Whether API score can be reflected through our participation in a webinar or any conference. I hope UGC will soon rectify the API score and incorporate such recent scenario in our API. Last opportunity is I can say digital. I can cite a few digital library. You can get access through your Android phone or laptop. Number one, already I have told, National Digital Library is a mega domain. Next, it is also a good domain, Digital Library of West Bengal, Public Library, Digital Library of Bokel Institute, Politics and Economics, Pune. Digital Library of India at Osmania University, Hyderabad, Digital Archives of Education Documents, NUPA, at present it is now NIPA. NIPA te ekta digital archive ache, okhane educational documents, everything okhane ache, joto committee commission okhane you will get. Another domain, Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, IGNCA. Archaeological Survey of India, New Delhi is also a digital library, a resourceful library. Tachara ache InClipNet. I also request a principal ma'am and my fellow colleagues to subscribe InClipNet from your college institution. And through InClipNet you can get access to a number of good quality books and journals. Annual subscription, it may be 5,000 rupees annual subscription. You may subscribe for the students and the faculties. Another big digital library, eParliament, in New Delhi. You will get there so many parliamentary discussion and political assessment. You will get access there. Next, Krishi Kosh is also, though basically this domain is related to agriculture, but these domains contains a lot of educational books and resources. Another significant domain, I can say, Central Secretariat Library. It contains a huge lot of resource. Central Library, Central Secretariat Library in New Delhi. It's a matter of pride. University of Calcutta Digital Collection. It's a recent initiative. Calcutta University সেখানে access আমাদেরকে দিচ্ছে সবাইকে মোটামুটি। There are so many opportunities. Actually, there is no denying the fact that I have no resource or digital portal or digital facilities. We can't say we have enough, though it may be not adequate, but we have enough. What we have, with these we have to proceed further. Under this circumstance, I have nothing to do. We should not compromise anything. We have to continue the flow of our higher education. We are the teachers, we are the faculty, we are the academician. We have some responsibilities. We are the torch bearers of our society. We are the catalyst for the development of our society. So we have some social obligations and accountability to run the streamline, to maintain the streamline of our education. Last section, actually I would like to share under this section what to do. Purely these are the basically based on my own perspective. In a nutshell, it can be said a multi-pronged strategy is necessary to manage the crisis and build a resilient Indian education system in the long term. মানে সবার আগে যেটা দরকার একটা multi-pronged strategy দরকার if we want to build a resilient Indian education system for the long term, not for time being. Coronavirus, one day it will be vanished, but we will have to think about the future problems. Any problem in the form of corona will come in future. Then it is high time to think over the future plan. যে সলিউশন গুলো আমি রাখছি একটা একটা করে পিওরলি মাই ওন ভিউজ এট ফার্স্ট allocation of 6% GDP in education must be ensured. It's a long dream. In the report Kothari Commission, it was demanded, it was recommended the government of India should allocate as soon as possible 6% GDP. But till today, the government of India has not been able to increase the level of GDP above 5%. Just it runs just around 4.2. It's a matter of sorrow. মানে যেটা কিনা আমাদের পলিসি মেকাররা বলে গিয়েছিল কিন্তু গভর্নমেন্ট হ্যাজ ফেইলড টু ডু। তার জন্য দরকার 6% GDP must be allocated for better education, for better implementation, as well as equally increase the budgetary allocation for healthcare as soon as possible. And budgetary allocation, if we look at the budgetary reports, you can see the maximum budgetary allocation are allocated for defense, communication, etc. The cardinal pillar of society, education and health. We can deny this cardinal pillar. Without education, nation is not cannot be, any nation cannot be built. Education is the catalyst for building a robust, resilient society. Any nation identity of any nation is identified, is measured in terms of educational index. Then naturally, GDP, rate of GDP, budgetary allocation should be increased. Next, human, intellectual, physical, material resources available in our education system need to be mobilized. Mobility, we need a mobility. Static is another name of death. We should have accept the mobility. তা আমাদের যা আছে, আমাদের যে রিসোর্স either material or human, সেটাকে নিয়ে আমাদেরকে মোবিলাইজ করতে হবে, প্রপার চ্যানেলে সেটাকে ইউটিলাইজ করতে হবে, আমাদের রিসোর্স আছে। Then capacity building of faculty দরকার। At first, I think capacity building for faculty development দরকার through online webinars, conference, workshop। কেননা উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে is to equip us to deliver online education। কারণ দেখা যাবে এখনো যতটুকু যা আমরা করছি, ক্লাস অনলাইন করছি, ইনস্টিটিউশনাল সাপোর্ট প্রবাবলি খুব কম, পুরোটাই ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল বেসড সাপোর্ট। কিন্তু ইন দ্য লং রান, ইন দ্য লং টার্ম, we should build up a robust system through capacity building among the faculty. Sensitization দরকার, যে অনলাইন টিচিং লার্নিং এর জন্য আগে সেন্সিটাইজ করতে হবে ফ্যাকাল্টিদেরকে। কিসের মাধ্যমে? অবভিয়াসলি ডিজিটাল সলিউশন, ডিজিটাল প্ল্যাটফর্ম, এবং ন্যাচারালি থ্রু অনলাইন ওয়েবিনার্স, কনফারেন্স, ওয়ার্কশপ can be conducted for that purpose. Next solution I can cite to raise awareness to key health hygiene messages among communities, neighborhoods. The students and teaching communities should come forward. And এইসব awareness প্রোগ্রামের জন্য টিচিং কমিউনিটি এবং স্টুডেন্টদেরকে এগিয়ে আসতে হবে by sharing poster, acting, messages, video on clips like staying at home, maintaining social distance, wearing masks, washing hands with soap, speaking skills, etc. during this lockdown and after. এটা আমাদেরকে দায়িত্ব নিতে হবে। তাছাড়া রয়েছে এই আন্ডার দ্য অ্যাম্বিট অফ প্যানিক COVID-19, ন্যাচারালি দ্য প্রলং ন্যাশনাল ওয়াইড লকডাউন চলছে। এটা কি ইট হ্যাজ ক্রিয়েটেড এ সেন্স অফ প্যানিক, fear and isolation among people. The many have been facing mental stress and anxiety. The higher education institutes should start helplines, counseling and other support services to their own students, faculty, staff. Perhaps these such type of activities can be extended to their families, nearby neighbors and local communities. এটা একটা করা যেতে পারে। নেক্সট, courses like physical education, yoga, creative arts can be conducted online for promoting emotional wellness among the students. Open and distance learning, digital learning moves, no problem, but parallel যেটা আমাদের করতে হবে, ODL mode programs should be introduced on large scale in each public university. ODL mode সিস্টেমটাকে এনরিচমেন্ট এবং এনরিচমেন্ট আমাদের করতে হবে। নেক্সট সলিউশন I can say we have to explore e-learning platforms more and more with the help of governmental support or institutional support. Karon we should make more and more our existing library digital. Digital library should be increased in numbers. এবং we should make them easy accessible and well equipped with current books and open access journals. Last, in the next portion I can say the specific steps taken by universities can be taken by universities and colleges, such as first of all, number one, redesign curriculum of current courses to introduce component of field survey or field study on post COVID-19 situation in the communities and neighborhoods. কারণ এই ধরনের কিছু কোর্স কারিকুলামের মধ্যে আমাদের রাখতে হবে, কারণ কমিউনিটির মধ্যে গিয়ে আমাদের সার্ভে করতে হবে, তাদের বিভিন্ন সমস্যাগুলো জানতে হবে পোস্ট কোভিড সিচুয়েশন নিয়ে। Next step can be taken by university or college, undertake analysis of loss of employment, livelihood due to panic, innovate locally appropriate solution for sustainable livelihood, locally and culturally appropriate solutions for sustainable livelihood. এই ব্যাপারে আমাদেরকে ইনোভেশন কলেজ এবং বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় থেকে আমাদেরকে কিছু উদ্যোগ নিতে হবে, কিছু মাইনর, কিছু কলেজ ফান্ডেড আর ইউনিভার্সিটি ফান্ডেড কিছু গ্রান্ট নিয়ে প্রজেক্ট করতে হবে, কিছু রিসার্চ ডেটা আমাদেরকে পাবলিশ করতে হবে। কেননা তাহলে আমরা বুঝতে পারবো যে কিছু যদি তাদের জীবন জীবিকার কাজে আসতে পারে এরকম কিছু যদি আমরা ডেটা, কিছু আউটকামস দিতে পারি। নেক্সট, university or college can undertake widespread multidisciplinary short-term courses, certificate course on public health and hygiene in partnership with local communities. Lastly, it can be said e-learning platform for study materials in its respective website. Last, I can give you a suggestion. Each college and university can maintain in their respective website. Just you can create an window. That the very window can contain the teaching learning content material developed by our teachers. অলরেডি কিছু কলেজ করেছে, তাদের ওয়েবসাইটে আমি দেখছিলাম তাদের সেমিস্টার ওয়াইজ, সাবজেক্ট ওয়াইজ কিছু টিচিং লার্নিং স্টাডি মেটেরিয়াল আপডেট করেছে ওয়েবসাইটে। লাস্ট, মেগা সলিউশন আই ক্যান পুট হিয়ার, আমরা যে ওয়েবিনার বা ক্লাস অনলাইন টিচিং লার্নিং যেগুলো করছি মেইনলি with the help of Google Classroom, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Jitsi Meet. But these are not the permanent solution. It creates they create a lot of problems for in the long run. For a long duration, you can't proceed your program. Naturally, we should have to think about a new innovative something. I can suggest each principal and dear colleagues or delegates to register G Suite for Education platform. G Suite for Education platform is a free, absolutely free platform. If you can proceed from your institutional address, you have to submit non-profit. You have to produce your institution is an unprofitable organization. You have to submit a NEC certificate or either UGC 12B or F certificate. If you submit, then they will take time 15 or 20 days. After scrutiny, they will get your permanent access. Then all of the faculty can customize their teaching learning programs through G Suite for Education platform. Already my own past college, my institution, Surendranath College for Women, already has registered. They are now using the G Suite for Education for their teaching learning program. But there are so many items you can customize there. Cloud, আপনি ওখানে প্রচুর ক্লাউডে আপনি আপনার টিচিং ম্যাটেরিয়াল রাখতে পারবেন। লাস্ট বাট নট দ্য লিস্ট, যেটা দরকার, it is important to establish quality assurance mechanism and quality benchmark for online learning developed and offered by Indian higher education institution as well as e-learning platforms. Karana, nowadays you have seen online platforms and online teaching learning systems are growing rapidly. But what is the validity? What are the, whether they are genuine or not? That's why we have to develop, establish quality assurance mechanism to ascertain or to ensure the validity of that very particular course material or any program. It is very urgent. It can be developed by university or advisory board mandated by MHRD. So the quality of course may differ. If we cannot develop any assurance quality mechanism, then the quality of courses may differ across different e-learning platforms. We should develop quality assurance mechanism not only for validation but also for maintaining uniformity of quality. Okay, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you all. If the learned delegates, you have any questions, please, you have already mentioned in the chat box, then I will try to reply through email or WhatsApp. Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we would like to move on to the interactive session. I would put forward certain questions, sir. I think some of the questions are there on the chat box. So one by one we would go through the questions, and if you can kindly answer few of them. Sir, the first question is from Pedan Bhutia, sir, from Hari Mohan Ghosh College. The question is, sir, you have mentioned the initiatives undertaken by the Education Department, but what about the problems faced by teachers and students due to the shift towards online education? how to overcome it?
Actually, I've already mentioned. Online teaching learning is a problem to a section of teachers as well as to a section of students. Actually, both students and teachers are not accustomed to the very particular system. Actually, we had to adopt online teaching learning during lockdown period. Government of India has initiated a good number of digital platforms, digital solutions. But now we have to we have to sensitize we have to sensitize our faculty. Sensitization is urgent.
Okay, sir.
So webinar different.
Oh, thank you, sir. The next question is from Shonali Chakraborty, ma'am. Her question is, what will be the solution for students learning through mother tongue as maximum digital materials are in English?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good, very good question. Already, UGC, if you look at the SWAYAM platform, indigenous language or regional language within the course learning material already developed. আমাদের বেসিক্যালি প্রত্যেকে একটু ভিজিট করতে হবে সোয়াম প্ল্যাটফর্মে। ওখানে অলরেডি ধীরে ধীরে বিভিন্ন কোর্স এবং কন্টেন্ট বিভিন্ন রিজিওনাল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে তৈরি হচ্ছে।
Okay, sir. As sir answers the question, one point is to be reiterated again. I would request all the participants that the link of the feedback form has been provided in the WhatsApp group. So kindly you can fill up the feedback form. Okay, sir. You can continue.
Link is not
Actually,
working in
Link.
WhatsApp group. Please send it again.
Okay. We are looking into
Link
it.
is not working in WhatsApp group.
Okay, we are looking into it. Okay, ma'am.
হ্যালো,
हाँ sir, बोलो.
Sonali ma'am, actually I mean to say, I request you to visit the MOOC platform. There are so many MOOC platforms based off all these. There you will find the course material in regional language and course content also written in, and development of course content in different regional language already initiative already taken.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you very much.
Tachara ma'am, actually we have to take initiative in this matter.
Okay, sir.
আমরা আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি কলেজের অভিজ্ঞতা আমরা যখন স্টুডেন্টদেরকে দেখি, আমাদের বেসিক্যালি এখানে হিন্দি, ইংলিশ আর বাংলা, আমরা কিন্তু কিছু স্টুডেন্টের কথা ভেবে কিন্তু আমরা সেটা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজগুলো মেনটেন করছি। ন্যাচারালি উই হ্যাভ
আমি তোমার কাছ থেকে হেল্প নেব এই ব্যাপারে হেল্প নেব তোমার কাছ থেকে।
So ma'am, I request you to contact to develop e-content material under your supervision guidance. We will continue to develop course material. You can register as a developer, course material developer through SWAYAM platform. I request you to register. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ajit.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, our next question is from Radha Ghosh, ma'am. Her question is, what should we do as teachers to combat the situation?
টিচার এখনো পর্যন্ত যেটা করছে আমি বলেছি অলরেডি, যেটা কারণ টিচারদের ব্যক্তিগত উদ্যোগে এখনো কিন্তু আমরা ক্লাস অনলাইন টিচিং লার্নিংটা রান করা, ইনস্টিটিউশনাল হেল্প খুব কম পেয়েছি আমার আশা করা যায়। মানে সবটাকে আমি দোষ দিচ্ছি না, কিছু ইনস্টিটিউশন অবশ্যই এগিয়ে এসছে, বাট টিচার্সরা প্রবলেম ফেস করছে, বাট দে আর ট্রাইং টু সলভ such problems using their whatever they have digital. After lockdown, the institutional you can expect properly. Okay.
Okay, sir. Our next question is from Dr. Shucharita Roy Choudhury, Chittaranjan College. Her question is how to engage the students from remote areas or below poverty line to online education where technological accessibility is not present. Should we engage mass media?
Okay. Good question, ma'am. Basically, actually, in the past section, I have already discussed such type of problem is basically related to the low-income students and remote students, where they have no high-speed internet connectivity or digital facilities. That's why it's a problem, area problem, area of grave concern. So we should can provide for them through basic WhatsApp or message or any mail, any type you can at present. In the long run, later post COVID, we have to think about that problem to solve the problem. At present, we can support whatever we have.
Okay, sir. So there is this question from Amol Kumar Shorkar, Botany Department. His question is, in Botany Practical, there are a number of experiments where different steps treated by specific chemicals subsequently observed and finally seen under microscope estimated by the instruments. Is it possible online?
To some extent, it will be possible, sir. To a greater extent, it not only possible at present. Our system is being developed. Virtual lab already India has developed. There the students can the demo of laboratory process on a practical class. Actually, the problem already in the session is the problem I already discussed. Practical classes under the direct supervision or observation of teachers, it is not possible during lockdown. Actually, institutions are locked down, the institutions shut down, and students came back to their homes. Naturally, digitally, we have to think about that problem. We can get the help of virtual lab. To some extent, such problems can be mitigated. It is not possible to a greater extent. Okay, in the later it will. I hope it can be solved at national level. Okay.
Thank you, sir. There is a question from Purvita Bose, Sushil Kaur College, Paromita Shorkar from Hingolganj Mahavidyalaya, and Shomen Bhattacharya. They have the same question. The question is, sir, could you reflect on the ways for preparing students, especially of rural or suburban colleges, for receiving online education in the most effective way possible? I ask this as many students are not at all technology savvy and they also cannot afford sufficient data connectivity. So what is to be done of those students who do not come from privileged families?
Actually, area problem related to our already discussed rural belt, colleges belonging to rural belt. সেক্ষেত্রে কলেজ কর্তৃপক্ষ এবং ফ্যাকাল্টি মেম্বারসরা they can take initiative to some extent through their facilities available, either to online teaching learning or any messaging or any WhatsApp or email or phone, mobile phone. Uh, we cannot solve at this problem to a greater extent. You have to innovate something new. You are the teachers. You have to think. You have to innovate. You have to do for the betterment of your beloved students. I can suggest, first of all, you have to make you resourceful about the digital online teaching learning process. Then you can sensitize your beloved students. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Uh, now there is this next question from Amrita Nag ma'am. Her question is, sir, please reflect on how to do evaluation via virtual classes.
Evaluation.
Evaluation.
Of valuation.
Evaluate.
Evaluate দেখেন লাস্ট সাজেশন আমার ছিল যেটা কিনা ওই আউটের জায়গায় হোয়াট টু ডু দে উই শুড evolve or develop a robust quality assurance mechanism on the part of higher education institution or MHRD mandated any agency, either it may be NCT or NCRT or CAPE, etc. মানে এটা আমাদের যদি মনে করেন প্রতিষ্ঠানগত তাহলে ইউনিভার্সিটি ঠিক করবে, আর যদি ন্যাশনালি যদি একটা কোনো গাইডলাইন দিয়ে দেয় সেক্ষেত্রেও আমরা উপকৃত হব। অ্যাট প্রেজেন্ট evaluation is also an area of concern, but I hope the government of India as well as state governments will take initiative in this regard. Already UGC has published the guidelines for exam and academic calendar. You have done so. I hope there are so many perspectives related to solution at present. Next, they will think about that evaluation problem, evaluation system. How can we proceed? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Our next question is from Tara Pramanik ma'am. Her question is, how can we motivate our students to stay with us on online class during lockdown period, because they are gradually becoming energy less without the normal class environment and peer group?
Yes. Actually, face-to-face teaching learning, online teaching learning is not substitute for face-to-face. It, to a greater extent, we can mitigate the difference or gap, but under such circumstances, we have to proceed. We have to adopt online teaching learning. So we live in the age of ICT. You can deny the facilities you avail already. The facilities are mediated by ICT. So you have to sensitize. You have to create motivation among your beloved students for the betterment of their career. And not only we should always not discussing with teaching learning curriculum based discussion. We frequently we should discuss about their we take get their news about their health condition and family condition and their neighbors condition. এটা আমাদের ইনফরমেশন নিতে হবে, তারা কেমন আছে, তাদেরকে কাউন্সিলিং করার দরকার, ওদের কি সমস্যা, ওদের সমস্যাগুলোকে আমি একটা জায়গায় অ্যাকোমোডেট করে আমাকে কিন্তু একটা সলিউশনের দিকে যেতে হবে। দেখো আমিও ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, দেখা যাচ্ছে 60 স্টুডেন্ট, out of 60 students, only 40 can participate in the online teaching learning. The naturally remaining 20, what to do for the remaining 20 students? The naturally, being a teacher, we should articulate or give message for them. You at your ease communicate through any media or over phone or message or email what you have. Basically, actually, NITI Aayog, Government of India, NITI Aayog already they have initiated, they have taken initiative to reach to increase the number of users, Android phones number of users and internet facilities around India. the rate will be increasing day by day. One day we will mitigate the problem.
Okay, sir. Our next question is from actually Chandan Shorkar sir and Gaurav Das sir have asked similar questions of the answers of which have been given earlier. Their question was, how do we conduct classes for economically and socially backward students? So I think they have got their answers earlier. We move on to the next question from Apriti Sharma ma'am. Her question is, are teachers ready for this revolution in education system? And this is a very big question, I suppose. Are teachers ready? The students are. We don't know the teachers are or not.
At the very beginning, in the under the section 1, I just began with that particular perspective. A large section of us, the teachers, are not ready. They are not well prepared for certain preparation for digital or online learning material. To a section of teachers are accustomed, but it is the problem to those teachers who are purely relying on the traditional mode of teaching, methods of teaching. They are not accustomed. It will take time. We should sensitize them to webinar or any digital sensitization conducted by higher education institute and college, etc.
Okay, sir. So our next question is from one second. From Chandan Sarkar sir. The question is, sir, after overcoming this pandemic situation, will we continue this digital platform or impose the traditional method?
Actually, it's a good question. We can at present say, today or tomorrow, we have to proceed towards digitization. We have to depend on digital teaching learning. Day after day, you have seen government of India or state government, they have been withdrawing their hands in respect of monetary allocation or any establishment of new setup or any investment in education. Globalization, under the ambit of globalization, already privatization has occupied a good portion of our education system. You have seen. Naturally, we have to compete. First of all, if you think you have to revive, then you have to adopt whatever it will come. You have to adopt with the new situation, new items, new digitization. You have to adopt. আমি যেটা বলতে চাইছি, হয়তো ফেস টু ফেস ক্লাসরুম টিচিং লার্নিং সিস্টেম ট্র্যাডিশনাল মোড উঠে যাবে না, বাট your institution should be equipped with digital teaching learning facilities. Among teachers as well as teachers and learners should also be sensitized with that particular system now or tomorrow. One day we will have to be accustomed.
Okay, sir. Our next question is from Education Department of Rishi Bankim Chandra College for Women, from Professor Jagabandhu Behra sir. Whether the human teacher would be replaced by the artificial teacher as the virtual learning system is working more effectively.
Okay. Sir Jagabandhu, good question. You have already seen in your teaching experience NAC committee, when they visited your institution, they have find out what your smart classroom where, how many smart classrooms are there, and e-content, how many teachers have developed e-content materials using SWAYAM platform. These are the indicators for scoring good score under NAC assessment. Then why not your institution must proceed towards digitization in terms of teaching learning or classroom facilities or virtual classroom. One day your institution, your principal will take such type of initiative. I can say human teacher cannot be replaced by digital teacher. Human teacher has a specific unique role in collaboration with our beloved students. Okay, but parallelly you have to set up another system. You have to run with the help of digitization, digital equipment. You will do what you want. You can do more and more within short time and at your ease. স্বাচ্ছন্দ্যে কম সময় এবং কম কষ্টে কম অর্থ অপচয় করে আপনি বেশি ফিডব্যাক, বেশি আউটকামস দিতে পারবেন। And one time if you can make your material, it will can use that material for a long time, unless or until the content is devised with the passage of time. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I think there is another question from Radha Ghosh ma'am. Her question is, how will we be able to judge the potential of our students catering to this online education? With regards to the internal assessments and attendance, how do we judge or evaluate our students?
Already, this is the problem I discussed in the first section. The assessment is a big term. Evaluation system covers a range of tools, written or oral or project or field survey, etc., or viva or any discussion or any lecture on the part of students. But how can we conduct the internal assessment or viva or field survey or project is an area problem. Obviously, it's a problem, but we have to innovate new ideas about that.
Okay, sir. I think this answer also answers Promita Shorkar ma'am's question too, I suppose. She had a similar question. Then we move on to... Okay. For practical exams, Promita Shorkar ma'am has again come up with a question. How does science subject practical classes can be conducted in this digitized platform, where science practical require hand-on experience?
Yes. It is also a problem, really problem, but actually practical classes in such subjects, basically in science-based subjects, cannot be conducted during lockdown or when the colleges or universities are shut down due to lockdown, nationwide lockdown. In future, we have to think about how we will be able to conduct practical classes online. Obviously, Government of India and state government have taken already some initiatives, virtual lab. I think such problems cannot be mitigated through virtual labs, where the hands-on practice is highly needed. Human touch or academician's observation or monitoring is highly needed. The virtual lab is not sufficient for the practical classes. To some extent, the problem cannot be mitigated in that way. At present, I can put such suggestion.
Thank you, sir. I hope this also answers some of the questions put forward by Bharati Chaudhary ma'am, Shulokna Chatterjee ma'am. I hope your queries have been answered. I hope with this, I hope that coronavirus has actually given us this opportunity to create a parallel system. So it is a blessing in disguise for our students also. With this, we end this questionnaire or interactive session, and I would now like to call upon Jilkot Mamun sir to kindly give his vote of thanks speech. Professor Jilkot Mamun sir, over to you.
Yes. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Hello?
You are.
Hello?
You are audible.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this webinar program, COVID-19 Impact of Teaching Learning Process in this seminar, to all dignitaries digitally assembled here. I would like to thank our GB President Dr. Ratan Kumar Nandi. He sent a recording of his speech which ethically aware us. I would like to thank to the principal of P.N. Das College, Dr. Sharmila De. She has extended her hand to organize this seminar jointly. Especially, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Lana Mukhopadhyay. Both principals have honored this seminar. Our principal, Lana Mukhopadhyay, has given inspirational thoughts. Not only that, she has given full enterprise to arrange this program. Again, I would like to thank our principal, staff members, colleagues, and participants. I'd like to thank Dr. Tulima De. She is one of the organizer of this program. I also thanks to Dr. Jasmeet Singh. He acted as all-rounder of this, acted as an all-rounder of this seminar. I would like to thank Mr. Shohardo Rai, who helps us digitally accelerate this program. I would like to thank to the resource person, Dr. Ajit Mondal. He is known as he is the resource person of this program. He is very close to us and also familiar to our college. All time he gives response very positively. He has introduced on webinar and its role in present context, how much it would be relevant. Also, he highlighted the government of India's policies and various commissions recommendations, and it's an interesting matter of interest in that for a long time left parties already they have done movement 6% budget allocation for the education purpose. Again, academicians already raised these types of questions, and our resource persons already kept the same voice. I appreciate it. Synoptically, he has given lively and comprehensive presentation which is enriched us on that matter. I would like to thank Mr. Sujan Saha. He is the key person of this seminar. From the earlier period to till now, he has given his valuable time to flourish this webinar program as well as this seminar, COVID-19 Impact on the Teaching Learning Process. I would like to thank Google Meet, which helps us to smoothly running this webinar program as well as this seminar. I would like to thank lastly but not least our beloved colleagues and participants for making this program as a grand success. Once again, I thank one all digitally present here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Jilkot Mamun. I would request Dr. Ajit Mondal sir to kindly go through the WhatsApp group, because there are certain questions that certain teachers have asked. I would request you if you can look into that. With this, I think we come to the end of our session. I hope it has been an informative session for all of you. We'll meet once again when we again organize a webinar. With this, we end the session. Have a good day, safe day, and stay at home. Goodbye. We end this seminar.
End করছি?
ending it. Okay.
End the meeting.